Trying. I think it's up. Let's find out. It says waiting for live stream. Oh, there you go. I can hear my voice. It's working. I can hear the horrible YouTube music in the background, so definitely working. And then we're going to do this whole pop-out chat thing so I can actually read it, because usually I minimize it, and then I'm like, oh, right, there's a chat. Whoops. Whoopsies. There we go. All right, what are we doing? We were cutting trees and stuff. Bunching. I'm going to go test out Skitterland here. Yeah, it's good that you pointed out that freaking, well, you and 100 other people after you pointed it out, you were the first one to notice the buncher issues, and I was like, what is going on here? And then when I went and tested, I'm like, oh no. At first I was like, what are you talking about? I spent so much time, and I'm like, oh shit, because I was like playing with light weighting the buncher head, and I'm like, oh, I'll just take it down to like 1,000, right? Because it's normally like almost 5,000. So I'm like, oh, I'll just take it down to 1,000, and then as soon as I did that, I remember I had to go do something in the house and I totally forgot. And then when I went to upload, I did not reverse the changes and I just uploaded it with the file. And I'm like, oh, dang it. So anyway, but yeah, as soon as I recorded a video after and I was like playing and I'm like, oh my God, this buncher's horrible. This must have been what Tex was talking about.
Yeah, I was going, I'm like wobbling a little bit more than normal.
Yeah. It was just like, yeah, it was like shaking, and then I was like, I cut one big tree, and it was like, yeah, it was like almost like the buncher head was trying to get away from the tree, and I'm like, this is really weird. It's funny. That's the joys of modding. You find yourself like you think you're crazy. You're like, I just did this. It was fine. What's going on here? Oh, can I get a grip on these? Grip them. Oh, there we go. Oh, looks like the chat is up. I see comments popping up now. We got Braden, Tricky, Garrett, River, 4300, WE Logging, Ethan, Dylan, and Ben. What's up, guys? Welcome. Welcome to the party. The party of two at the moment. I did say 1 o'clock for start time for other people, but honestly, I don't think the times really matter to anybody anywhere, because I can set a time and nobody will show up, or I'll set a time and then everybody shows up, so I just don't really care. It's whenever I'm here and I'm available, I just say, let's go.
We'll just vibe no matter what.
Yeah, that's right. Just vibing, man. That's what it's all about. How are we going to get this in here? Put a little bit more weight on the front end of these skidders, but it seems to be doing okay.
Yeah.
They were just a little bit too twitchy there before. Like, you'd lift the front end up with just one of those big guys, and I was like, man, that's just not going to cut it. One thing I was thinking of doing is, I don't know if I'll be able to keep the blade the same. I was going to try to make the blade so it has like a little bit of like a free float to the blade, so you can just kind of drop it on the ground, let it bounce up and down. I think it might hang up and jitter off though, so experiments. Aaron wants to know if you missed anything. Did you miss anything? I don't think so. Probably not, no. Ben says it's 1905 for him, and Outdoorsman says it's 105 for him. If those are both military times, then that's quite the difference. What's 1905 in military time? 11 o'clock? 11 o'clock? 5 o'clock? Oh, I don't know. I literally suck at military time. Unless it's in like the 0800 stuff, then I'm kind of lost. But I'm sure someone will correct us in the chat in about 3 seconds anyway, so.
6 o'clock, I think.
Oh, 6 o'clock. All right.
Use the old fingers.
Yeah, right. Is that how you do it? Yeah, you like count up from like from 10 to 1 or whatever. I remember, yeah, some guy in school showed me that one time. And I was like, for the amount of times I'm going to use military, I don't think I'm going to worry about it too much.
I think the only time I use it is in this game.
Oh, hey, let's test out our multiplayer. Okay, we got a stump here. Let's see if it works. Control /. Hopefully it doesn't crash the game. Stumps. Clean stumps.
Oh, it pops up on my screen too.
Uh-oh. Mine just says cleaning stumps, but it's frozen in time here. No errors, though.
I had a little pop-up that said 18 stumps removed.
Mine's stuck in cleaning stumps and just... Oh no. We might have broke the game.
We haven't got.
If you hit Control / does it do anything?
Yeah, it pulls up the menu.
Go click on clean stumps and see if it clears it for me.
Oh, I can't. Only admins.
Uh-oh. Yeah, mine's stuck here. I can clear the console. That's not going to help me. What if I do a reset my vehicle? I think it's in here somewhere. Uh-oh. I can't get out of this menu. I'm stuck.
P Farm says every time it breaks the game.
No.
But that one guy said in multiplayer was working fine.
Yeah, maybe this is just a one-off. Huh. Weird, hey? What if I, Yeah, I don't know any way to reset the, anything on here, honestly. There's the console, but I don't know if there's any way to reset anything in here. Reset. Anything resettable in here? What about if I clear my cache? Oops. Clear. No, that just clears my, where's it? i3D? True? Nope. Darn. All right, well, I'm going to close and then reopen, I guess. It works in single player. Darn. We had just gotten all those trees there, too. Okay, so I'm going to start it again. I'm going to try it again right when we start. And then to see if that was just a one-off or if that's broken for multiplayer. If not, I can always go in... Oh, what I could do is try to make you an admin and see if you can clear it too. We'll do some testing. We're going to test the abilities of this thing here.
I don't know if it's like admin or if it's farm manager permissions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like your admin of the server kind of thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll try. Yeah, like I said, I cleared it in single player before we started from all our old stuff, and it seemed to be okay. But also what I could do is just not use it in multiplayer, but then before we fire up the game, I can just go into the map that we just played, and then just clear all the stumps and then start the game too. It's a little bit more work, though.
Yeah.
A little bit more work. Aaron says midnight is 0 dark. So just count up from there. Yeah, totally. I can always do those. But then once I get past like 13, which is what 1300 is 1 o'clock, then I kind of get lost. Like if I think about it, somebody says, oh, it's 1530. I'm like, oh man, I have to go back to 13 and count my way up and think. My brain just doesn't work that way. 1300 though, I don't know why that's stuck in my head, but it works. Okay, hold on. I'm going to try it when you're not in here. Oh, that's not working at all. Hold on. Did I not activate it? Hold on. Let's close the game again. Let's see how many times we can reopen this. As a modder, it's like a profession for me. I wish I had a counter that told me how many times I've opened and closed the game for modding. I bet it's in the trillions. I bet it's pretty high.
More hours opening the game than you do playing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Okay, let's try this again. Deselect all, select all. I thought I did that, but maybe I didn't do that right. Oh, IP Farms says every time it breaks the game. So maybe it's not a me thing. Mihik the Medic. Is Stump clearing something new? It is something new. It's a mod called Clean Farms or Clean Your Farm over. I can't remember the name of it. Okay, Control / Okay, here it is. I'm gonna try it again. Clean stumps. Nope, it's frozen for me.
Rip.
Yeah. So I guess we can't use that in multiplayer. That's too bad. And if that's the case, I might as well just pull it out of our multiplayer shit and just use it for single player.
If you turn on the auto clean,
I think it'll.
I don't know how that works, but
I hope it doesn't like just. Yeah, I just don't like. I wonder when it sets. I think it's at midnight though. Every time at midnight it does it or something. I think that's what I read. Weird. Oops. Let's go multiplayer. Yeah, we'll just not use that feature, I guess. That's too bad, eh? I mean, it's fine. It's still good to have it though, because what I can do is after we play or before we play, like I said, I'll just go in single player, clear all the stumps, save it, and then when we go in, the stumps are still gone, even for multiplayer. So
yeah,
I just got to remember to do that. But it would be nice to be able to do it live while we're doing it, just to kind of clear up some of the stuff.
I guess that means Flirty's still employed when he shows up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's still gonna be our our butcher, our stump butcher. Okay, so no clean farms while we're doing this then. That's okay. All right, we're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen, and you just go right back to your buncher like we were just doing, and nothing's any different. Perfect. Dylan wants to know why his joysticks are not working after he set the keybinds. It could be a lot of things. It could be the USB ports you're using. If you're using a USB hub, sometimes those are a little bit glitch. You can go in through Windows and check your joysticks to make sure that they're operating. There's like a little game pad program, and then when you move your joysticks around, they should be showing some kind of movement on there. But there's quite a few reasons why that could be happening. But if it's letting you set the keybinds, then your joystick should be working just fine. I would refer back to the FDR logging video, setting up your controls, and just make sure you follow that step by step, and hopefully that works. Captain couldn't get them.
Funny.
What's that?
So, do you remember? I don't know if it was in 19 or not, but I know it was in 22 for sure. But whenever you would quit out of a multiplayer game multiple times, like you just did,
yeah,
when you'd go to join it, it wouldn't let you connect.
Right.
That still exists.
Are you having that problem right now?
Yeah, I should be able to restart my game and fix it.
I think that, yeah, that's always been like a server issue on their part. Because I remember that, yeah.
It just has to keep up.
Yeah, it's like you've tried to join, but it's like delayed and thinking that you're still on the server, basically. It's probably just a cache thing. Their server cache probably clears itself after a certain amount of time. Do we have two? Oh, I thought we had two bunchers. The other one's not the buncher, that's why. The other one's the mulcher. Aaron, do we have to reset our bindings after each update? Nope. Nope, you do not. And you can even replace that bindings file as many times as you want, and your bindings will still stay the same. If for any reason you're having issues with the bindings clearing or resetting every time you start the game, I've heard some guys say it's something to do with Steam Cloud, which you can disable. And I can't remember exactly how you do that, but you can Google how to disable Steam Cloud. And apparently that helps with some people's problems. But I have Steam Cloud on this one. It used to be an issue in 22. If I had Steam Cloud on, my key bindings would reset all the time. But it is not an issue in FS25, for me anyway. Hey, look, you made it in. The game loves you again.
Hey.
Bum. Cleve Hall. Oh, buddy, how are you? Frick, there's a guy I haven't talked to in a long time. Are you still, if I remember correctly, because I haven't talked to you in like 1,000 years, you were doing something with, I want to say remote operating. I could be crazy if I'm confusing with somebody else. Remote operating. At least I think that was you, unless I got you confused with somebody else. I still remember you, Cleve. I just can't remember what the exact thing that I remembered about it. Captain, I skipped you. What did I skip? Captain. Oh, he said, hey, tried your equipment in 22 a while ago, but I couldn't get the mouse to work with it. You can. like in the keybind, you just have to set your key binding separate of your gamepad. So if you're under the gamepad menu, you can't set your mouse from there. You have to set it while you're in the keyboard settings screen. And the only reason I know that is we had a couple guys in FS22 that did also run joystick or mouse and keyboard, but they couldn't do much. Mouse and keyboard's pretty limited. It's just, you can do some stuff, it's just a lot slower. Cleve. No, he's not. He's in RC truck. Oh, that's it. RC trucks. Yeah. Not controller equipment. Controller RC. I knew it was something like that. But how's Cleve? I haven't seen you in like a million years. Yeah, Captain, you definitely can. I still recommend just even buying a crappy controller would probably be a better time than trying to use a mouse and keyboard, but go on eBay. They're cheap. You can find a crappy one. Even get those like crappy Logitech ones. I used one of those a long time ago just for testing stuff, and I think it was like $21 Canadian, so that's like probably 25 cents American. Yeah, I remember you playing with this, Clevie. I don't forget that part. I couldn't remember. Every time I played with people in the past, I always have like a memory of something that person did, and I remembered it was something to do with like controllers or operating stuff, but I thought it was heavy machinery, but RC makes way more sense. Yeah, back in the good old days, hey? Because that was back in like FS19 maybe, hey? 17, 19? That was a long time ago. Back in the good old days when the antelope ruled the grass. Are any of you people getting destroyed by tornadoes? Tex says he's safe in Texas, so... But it looks like Missouri area is getting devastated by tornadoes and stuff. But of course it was that bad there. Those guys probably wouldn't be online to tell us. How's it going there? They're not here, man. They're not here. Just out of curiosity, because I started to use the feller button or feller buncher more, is capable of carrying more than one trees. Yes, the feller buncher, you can do more than one tree for sure. It's a little bit of it's a little bit harder without really joysticks. Yeah,
you can only do about one of those.
Yeah, I don't recommend trying two of the big trees. It gets a little glitchy.
Medium trees, you can do about 3 of those, and then the little guys, just how many the head will fit.
Yeah, I mean, you can do more. It's just not going to be a good time, you know?
Yeah.
There's optimal.
That's what I recommend.
Yeah, there's optimal, and then there's maximums, and then there's just overrides.
Yeah, I flipped the machine enough on that hill to know what it can and can't do.
Yeah, right?
I am so thankful for the flat ground on the other
Yay, right? So much better. Yeah, that one doesn't have very much hilly situation going on. We'll be switching over to that one eventually. But yeah, there's not a lot of hills going on there. There's like 2 hills, and I wouldn't even call them hills. They're kind of like little ravines. Light, chill ravines. Captain, I have one really old joystick made for an old game in my basement. It has lots of buttons and gizmos on it. Yeah, it probably work. Honestly, anything USB you can make work. And I've used some wild things in this game with USBs and never had issues. But yeah, you can use really old ones. I still remember using the Logitech Attack 3s, I think they were. And they were actually great joysticks. I really liked them. I think I ended up actually giving that set to Rambo there back in the day. Sent it to him. Way back in the yonders. Cleve says his back is getting worse and he's only working 17 hours a week at a hardware store. You know what? That sounds pretty good, honestly. Not the back part, but the working 17 hours a week at a hardware store. That sounds pretty cool. Every day I start to go like, man, some days it'd probably be better to just go work at a grocery store and just stock groceries all day. And you wouldn't have to deal with half as much shit. Sounds not so bad, actually. The wage probably isn't very great, but I honestly, at the end of the day, as long as you're making do, like, who really cares? Gone are my feelings of having a high titled position or something like that. I could just really give a shit less. Solve for peace, right? That's solve for peace. Unfortunately, money also equals peace, but... What was that text you're saying?
I just want to do something I'm comfortable with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. Don't be afraid to take a step in a weird direction, but also don't make it so that you're dreading your job every day. I don't have any jobs that I dread anymore, particularly. I used to have jobs that I was like, oh man, I'd wake up and be like, I just don't want to do this. But that was back when I was in debt too, and I had to work. Now I don't really, I paid off everything, so I don't really have to worry about that. I still got to pay bills though. Those don't go away. But yeah, spend your time paying off debt. That's a big one.
You still have that old Chevy?
Which one?
The most.
I had a the most recent one. Yeah, the most recent one I got is the 2014. So I mean, technically that is old now, but that's the one I put all the work into and got lifted up. The gray one. Yeah, I love that one. It's been a blast. That one I'll probably ride to the grave, actually, honestly. It's the year I wanted. It's the one truck I know the most about. So when stuff goes wrong with it, I know exactly what's coming and basically how to fix it. And yeah, I really like that one. I don't like the new ones. I got a couple buddies with some of the newer ones and just nothing but freaking problems. So that's like the 2022 and the what's the other one? 2024 my other buddy has, and he said just nothing but problems. And it's like one's a Ford and one is a Chev. And he said just cheap electronics, cheap parts, things breaking down, water getting into places that water should not be able to get into. Just poor built. But yeah, he's like, I should have just bought like a 2008 Duramax because he knows them so well. He's like, I know that would have worked. Just get one of those, call it good.
I have $7,000 left on my truck.
Oh, like owing and then you're out?
Yep.
Oh shit, that's a good feeling. You're almost there. How long you had that one? That's your Dodge, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 6 years. It's a 2014 as well.
Okay. Honestly, that was my 14s and 15s were kind of my favorite year. A little bit of for GM anyway, but a little bit of electronics issues. But if you know what they are, you can fix them up. But yeah, I don't think there's no perfect one. It doesn't matter what you buy. There's no perfect one. There's worse ones, but there's not like, oh, this is the one go-to truck that's perfect and will never have issues. Except my buddy claims his Toyota is bulletproof, but you know what? I've seen him put money into that thing too, so they're not perfect either. Their parts are more expensive. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe GM parts are not going to be cheaper here coming up, but that might be a problem for us here in the old Canadas. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, because every day we seem to have a different tale on the old cost plans here. So whatevs. Controllers work, but your movement is just really choppy. Yes, I agree. Sorry, I'm reading these half-reading comments and getting to them when I can here. Trying to process and read comments is hard. I have to wait till it's running. There we go. Cutting on hills is fun and adds a challenge. It can also be a very frustrating experience in this game because trees just like to just do whatever they want. Where's the truck? Should probably bring that up and do a load. I'll do a load, then you can do a load. How about it? There's definitely enough there for 2 or 3. 2.5 probably.
See, now that I have the dev console enabled and I can actually turn on super strength,
I'll
be fine.
Yeah, can you do that? Can you do that multiplayer? I always wondered that. Okay, good. Always good. I'm
alright.
I'm like driving and reading here. Yeah, cement floors, Cleve says on his back. Yeah, no, I know that one. I remember when I was working security in Vancouver, and we'd contract. So like one night you'd be at a nightclub, the next night you'd be at a stadium, the next night you'd be at a standing in a parking lot, like for no reason. Just like it was just random. These security company I worked for had just contracts everywhere, so you just go wherever they told you. And the worst one was like was one of the Marriott hotels. I remember working in Vancouver, and yeah, you basically your whole job was standing in this one place in their lobby, and the lobby was like that marble fancy flat flooring, and it was just basically like 9-hour 10-hour shifts of standing there, and it was like the absolute worst. I'd like limp my way home because my freaking shins and my knees were just shot after that. But yeah, I hated that. And you just don't do anything. Like they just want you to stand right next to the desk basically and just be there as assistant. But like you could walk basically to the door, but then it was super busy, so they wanted you to stand there, and I was like, oh man. And our manager was this twerpy little, it wasn't our manager, it was the Marriott's manager. Oops, I missed my turn. I'll have to back up. The manager was this little twerpy jerk off of a guy. He was such a douche. He'd come up and be like, you need to straighten your shirt, or you need to do this. Your collar is tucked in weird. You need to change that. And it's like, oh my God. I was like, dude, I'm going to just punch you in the head. I'm like twice the size of you. I could snap you with my knuckle, like literally. Of course you can't say that because, you know, he's the super. But yeah, everybody warned me before I went to that contract. They're like, oh, you're going to hate that guy. He's a freaking douche. And I was like, all right. Yeah. I'm surprised nobody like met him in an alleyway later on in life and just gave him a good smack, but whatevs. Oops. Oh my God, I caught the edge there.
Give him the old mafia treatment.
Yeah. If anybody on Earth deserved it, he was the guy.
Uncle Vinny sends his regards.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. Let's load one of these up here. Actually, we'll back up a little bit. Sure, let's try that, see what happens. Some shorts in there too. I'll have to find a home for those. All right, let's cutting for a little bit, and then let's get caught up here so we don't run into our same issues last time. I was gonna be like, oh, we could just clear the trees, but I was like, no, I guess we can't do that. It's just the two of us, so it shouldn't be too bad, but I don't want to risk it, because once the frame rate does drop, it is so god-awful to play. And it's so smooth right now, I'm just like, let's just do little bits. There's only two of us. We can play catch-up. We'll play catch-up as we go.
A lot of wood in this little circle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very densely piled. Dragon. Amazing controls. Thanks. Designed to be run smoothly. That doesn't mean everybody runs them smoothly, but they're designed to be run smoothly. Let's go this way with this one.
That's what I was just thinking the other day. I need to get some new wheels for that truck.
Yeah, like you're not rim. Yeah, like tires or wheels, like the rim.
The wheels, rims, whatever.
Yeah. I know everybody calls them differently, but I'm like, oh, I need new wheels. And I'm like, oh, sweet. What, you trying to get chrome ones? He's like, no, I need like new wheels. And it's like, well, what do you mean by that? No, like the rubber. No, that's the tire. No, it's the wheel. It's like, all right, whatever, man. But yeah, anyway, what do you got your eyes on a certain set or?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna try and find like a full aluminum forged wheel.
Oh yeah, sweet.
It's like, I mean, the ones that are on it are full forged, but they're also like they're like plated with some kind of chromium.
Okay, yeah. I got KMC XD snares. That's the ones I got. I actually had to get them from somewhere in the States because nobody in Canada had them, and I really wanted those ones. And this company that I dealt with were just like, the only place that has them is like this tiny little shop in Ohio. And I was like, yeah, get them. It's like, I don't care. I was like, those are the ones I'm set on. Just go get them. And it cost me a whole bunch of extra money to get them from there, but it was worth it. They look amazing, and I love them.
Yeah, so I don't know if I want to go with just full chrome again, or if I want to go with like a black chrome mix.
Yeah, that's what I did. So mine are like kind of a 50-50, where it's a little bit of chrome on the inside and then black accents. But there's a lot of different stuff. What kind of tires do you have? Like the rubber part?
I don't remember the exact brand. There's all-terrain tires.
All-terrains? I got my wife, I got her to get the same ones. She got the Toyo AT3s. And honestly, I was kind of sketched thinking about, because like they're an all-terrain, like you can use them all year, but we get pretty rough winters up here, and I was like, well, we'll try. I was going to go with the BF Goodrich KO2, but I ended up going with the AT3s, and honestly, they are so good in winter, it's not even funny. Like, I mean, obviously four-wheel drive, in two-wheel drive they're pretty slick, but I mean, everything on a pickup is slick in two-wheel drive in winter. But like bulletproof, I drove on the roads when there was 3 inches of snow on them, not even plowed yet, and no problems. Like it was like I was driving on dry pavement. It was pretty wild. I mean, obviously don't drive like a complete twat, but as long as you're not driving completely stupidly, you're gonna be fine. But you guys probably don't get a lot of snow there. Not saying it's unheard of, but
no. About once every 5 years.
Yeah, so probably less of a concern for you guys. Like, does it get like frosty on your roads or anything there? Like in your winter months?
Ice over.
Yeah, ice up or whatever.
But they don't really.
It's not like
to get pretty cold here.
Yeah.
That's a rare occasion. I mean, the coldest it got this year, I think, was like 13 Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad. Oh, yeah, I guess I could just do a loop. I don't got to back up. This road goes right out the other way. Yeah, pretty wild, man. I like your little pile here that I just ran over.
It's about to be destroyed anyway.
Oh, can't go that way. Somebody blocked the road with a bunch of trees here.
I don't know who did that.
Hey, you know what? They're facing the right way. Oh, yeah, the chat. What do we got going on in there? Seems like the new map has some disappearing trees when you cut them with the buncher, or is it just a skill issue? Disappearing trees is, like, I mean, when you hit them with the buncher, occasionally, due to the way the cut nodes work, you can absolutely delete the trees from existence. In multiplayer, I find it's worse. Like, if there's lag, sometimes you get a little bit more. But if you're cutting the trees at a weird angle, like if you're going up at a 45 degree or down on a 45 degree, you're going to see more accidental tree complete deletes from the map, as opposed to flat ground. And smaller trees have a higher chance of getting deleted just based on the way that the cut node script works. But technically, what we're doing with the buncher cut node is not at all what it's supposed to be. So the actual buncher is using the stump cutter cut node, and then I've just kind of gone in and abused the cut threshold so that it allows bits of the tree to be deleted instead of the whole tree to be deleted, and that gives you a nice smooth cutting experience. But occasionally the game reads it wrong or catches a weird angle, and then it'll just delete the whole tree as if it's all one stump. So it's a little bit funky. Again, I'm famous for taking things in this game and completely not doing what they're supposed to be for. So, but there is no other better cut node to use than the stump cutter cut node for chopping down trees, because the other ones have a time delay. So if you go to cut them, it like takes a minute for the buncher. So if you go to like slam into a bunch of trees to cut them all in one grouping, you can't do that with the other cut nodes because it'll freeze and your buncher head will just slam against the trees that aren't getting activated. Anyway, long explanation. Most people lost me on the first like three words in there, so it's all good. Anyway, I guess we'll have to back this in. Cleve says, my brother has a logging operation now. He bought a new buncher, delimber, and grapple, all John Deere. Oh, well, that's his first mistake. Just kidding. Just kidding. We love John Deere. What's that?
I said, I hope he doesn't plan on working on it.
Yeah, no. It's okay. John Deere will send guys there to work on it sometime within the next 6 to 7 business months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're going to lose every bit of money you ever had.
Yeah. Yeah, John Deere has got some interesting stuff going on. Our company just bought a bunch of John Deeres, I guess. They're not having a good time with some of them there. I guess they're having nothing but issues with the I guess it's the DEF stuff. There's some DEF stuff on them that's just causing absolute problems, and then a little bit of electronical issues. But the old machines we had were good. We used them forever. They're just like, oh, these are new and better. Let's do it. And they're like, oh, God, this is costing us more money than the old ones. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I told you that. But yeah. Claude, how are the AT3 in deep snow, like 20 centimeters? Not terrible. It really depends how you drive. Like, I was chewing pretty good in our log yard when we had, like, I don't know about going by centimeters, but there was at least a foot, if not more, a foot of snow, and I was plowing through like it was no problem, fast or slow. I never spun out. I was in 4-wheel drive, of course. In 2-wheel, you definitely fishtail, but I mean, that's just, if you're gunning it in a pickup in 2-wheel, you're gonna get what you get, right? So, but yeah, they were like incredibly good. And when it got really cold, like when it hit minus 25 and all the roads were just basically ice, the compound on the AT3s still stayed super soft, like crazy soft. Like, so like it didn't harden up, didn't stiffen up at all. So yeah, I found them to be really, really good. Again, don't drive like an idiot. Like if you're in 2-wheel drive and you're driving down, you hit a 45-degree corner when it's icy, it doesn't matter whether you have studs or the world's best tires on earth. If you're driving like an idiot, you're still going to be sliding. So I think it comes down to your skill level as a driver as well. But I was actually really blown away by how much grip they have, how much traction. Because sometimes I thought I was in 4-wheel drive and I hadn't switched it over, and I was like, oh man, these are doing really good. So yeah, highly recommend them. And I did a lot of studies. I was gonna go with the Falcon ones. I think they have an ATW. I think it was the Falcon AT. But the price of those tires was what really just threw me off, because up here, I don't know if it's different where everybody else lives, but like they were like $350 to $400 more per tire, like for a set. Yeah, they're almost $1,000 a tire. I mean, I'm buying big tires; they're like 35s, but like yeah, the AT3s were I think $670 a tire or something like that, and the Falcon ATs were like $853 before tax or something, and I was like, yeah, no, that's not happening. I'm not going to spend $5,000 on tires. Like, it's just not going to happen. So, but yeah, so better price, and honestly, they're great. They're perfect for me. But yeah, I mean, if you got lots of money, I'd say, from what I hear, the ATWs, the Falcon ones, were definitely the winter version if you're driving in the Arctic all year. But we'll see longevity wise. Everybody says they go up to 60,000 kilometers, whatever that is for miles for you guys, but that's pretty good. And I mean, mine doesn't go very far, just back and forth between work and occasionally a road trip or two, a few hours. But I mean, we're going to go on a road trip somewhere. We'll probably take my wife's truck, 'cause it's smaller and a little less disgusting on fuel. Slightly.
Yeah, I feel like that's the worst part about owning a diesel. Like, I mean, it gets okay gas mileage or
yeah,
mileage, but
for me,
so much more
well, yeah, cost more to fill up. Parts are more because they're heavy duty. Everything's heavy duty. Everything's double the size of a gasser. And I'm comparing my 1500 to a 2500. I mean, if you have a 2500 gasser, your prices of your parts are going to be pretty similar to a diesel. But, you know, on a diesel, when it's time to replace stuff, you know, you're also replacing your dual alternators, your dual batteries, everything's two. There's a lot of twos, right? Fuel pumps, fuel filters, fuel... I know, because I had to replace all of this stuff on my Duramax when I had it. And I'm like, God, I never got out of the shop for less than $1,000 every time I had to go in there, so... And that was then. It's probably double that now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, my justification is if you are actually hauling something that is needing fuel efficiency. If you're a contractor, you're hauling heavy loads of lumber on, you know, in a tip trailer, or you have a skid steers or mini excavators that you're hauling with it, then, yeah, I mean, a diesel is a no-brainer. Heavy duty, better fuel economy, better everything for doing that, right? As opposed to a gasser, which will burn you a little bit more. But if you don't do any of that stuff, I can't justify having a diesel. There's just no way. That might be cool, but I had my one diesel for like 7 years, and I loved it. Like, it was a great truck and all, but like the worst part was winter, right? Like, warming that sucker up was the worst because it took forever to heat up. And I had the LMM engine, so the biggest concern there was it didn't have enough time to warm up properly. So you get it just barely warmed up, and then you're at work, shut it back off again. And that one had the aluminum heads on it, so they started to actually warp. The heads on it started to warp from just being heated up, cooled down, heated up, cooled down. And that became a bit of an issue towards the end there, so. But then I got rid of it, and I switched over to gassers, and I never went back to diesel again. Diesels have their place, but if you're not using them for actual work efficiency, I don't know. I don't find them to be super duper needed. But then again, if I had $1 for every guy I knew that owned a vehicle that he didn't use it properly for, then I would probably be able to retire. So, oh, you got a deck over there. I'll just walk over to that. You built that beautiful deck. Why would I do that? Whoop. Yeah, and that load is all yours, buddy. You can give her... I don't know if that's a full load or not. Not really, but maybe. But if not, there'll be more over here in a minute. Cleve. He says, LO, basically the only dealer near him, anything else is 2 hours away. Well, at least if you're close to the dealer, maybe you'll get better service. Because all of our dealers are like, yeah, way too far away for getting proper service. Like 3 to 4 hours away. So getting them to show up to fix something is like, yeah, good luck with that. We'll be there in 5 to 7 business months. It's Ken Dog. He's alive. He said, don't get started with DEF issues. Yeah, oh, I know. Don't worry, we're saving the environment. One spilt DEF tank on the ground at a time.
That's either my float. I think my float's stuck for the tank or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Usually you can get about 4 tanks. The other day I went to fill. I'm like, I haven't put DEF in this thing in a while, so I had.
You had DEF on a 14? Oh, yeah, I guess they would have, hey? Yeah. By 14, yeah. Because mine was an 08, but I didn't have DEF yet. It still had the stupid EGR valve that got chock full of shit until I cut that off and just deleted it because it was horrible. But, yeah, pretty annoying. I think that...
I had to pick up a jug of DEF, and then I went to fill it up, and it didn't even take like a quarter of it. I'm like, I really gotta get that fixed.
Yeah, right? And not super cheap to get that stuff fixed either.
Yeah. Well, that's why I really want to get it deleted. That's expensive, and also not exactly the most lawful thing to do. But yeah, we also live in Texas. So I was gonna
say where you are, I don't think it's as big of a problem. Where I live, well, I mean, I'm further up north, so they don't really look for that stuff up here as much. That is definitely not to say that they don't. If they caught you with it, you'd have to get it all replaced. That's why lots of guys don't delete stuff up here, because if you do, and they do an inspection and it's missing, well, you got to pay to get that replaced with OEM parts, and it is so expensive to put it back. It's actually way more expensive to put it back than it is to take it out. So, guys are like, nope, I'll just do it right and be miserable. But then you see all the government vehicles we have up here, and they're all deleted, every single one of them. Because they know, the mechanics know, it's going to cost them a fortune because of all the freaking DEF problems they have. Like, how is that okay, hey? Like, Jesus, that drives me nuts. Because we drove, what, 3 or 4 of our government vehicles, all diesels. And yeah, they're all deleted, like, completely deleted. And I'm just like, are you fucking serious? But, you know. Just the way it goes, I guess, hey? Governments and hypocrites, they don't ever go together, so I don't know what you're talking about.
That's like I have not ABS issue, or yeah, it is ABS issue. That's causing my cruise control to not work, so I also don't have cruise control, which I don't drive very far anyway, so
no.
I don't necessarily use it, but...
I only ever used it one time on one vehicle just to test it, and then I was like, yeah, I don't like that. But I mean, if you're in a place like, probably like where you are, is it really like long distances, like empty highway, like straight shots?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, here it's all corners, all curves, all the time. Like, you can't drive for more than 3 minutes without hitting another 45-degree corner somewhere, just because it's like mountains and valleys, and there's not a lot of places where there's straight stretches here, so... But I bet you if you're in like Saskatchewan, where it's just like a straight line for like 9,000 miles, yeah, cruise control would probably be good. You go have a nap in the back. You'd probably run out of fuel if you fell asleep before you'd hit anything. But yeah, pretty wild. How's the lag? It's okay?
Oh, we're good.
Yeah, it's acting normal, huh?
New internet's treating me well.
Yeah, right. Hell yeah. Nice to have the good stuff, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, what did I miss in the comments? Aaron, will there be logging from scratch like 19? I thought about doing logging from scratch again. I don't really know what to do. Not to say I'm not creative. I'm just like, I just don't know. Getting into the role-playing stuff has just always been a bit of a tricky one for me.
I started making a
role-play series.
Well, it's not really role-play. It's more just me yapping.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. That's what I turned mine into. Because I'd rather talk about, like, reality. I find it so difficult to play the whole, hey, it's Chris. What's up, buddy?
Hi there.
I find it really difficult to do the whole, like, okay, guys, we're going to build a farm today, and the farm is going to be called farm.com, and I don't know. I just find it really, like, tricky for me.
Yeah. Well, it's like I kind of just made it to where, like, you know, starting from nothing and working my way up, but, like, I'm just kind of yapping and...
Yeah, and just talking about things. Random stuff, yeah. I mean, I guess you could do that anyway, but I don't know.
Because, like, I can't play this game without super speed or super strength.
Yeah,
I just can't.
It's too ADD. Hey, you got to keep going. That's everybody now, though. We're all like that. When's the last time you sat down and actually watched a full feature movie, like a full-length movie, and been able to get through the whole thing without looking at your phone?
Most of the time, it's not even me looking at my phone. I'm just skipping through it half the time.
Yeah, right? So like, that's everybody now. Parts. That's everybody. It never used to be like that. Like, that's so crazy. Growing up, it was always like, oh man, everybody was so engorged watching a movie. Now it's like, you cannot watch a movie without somebody like just being on their phone for about, half of it or more. I mean, I'm not not being a hypocrite. I'm just as bad as everybody else. I do the same thing. I'm always like, start watching a movie. Oh, this is really good. And then I'm like, oh, I'm just going to look at Facebook real quick, or I'm just going to open this link real quick. And then I'm like, gone. I'm like, oh, what happened? Where are we going to go here now, Tex? What's the plan? Back to the hill? Just kidding. Maybe not. We kind of pinched off that block. There's a little bit left on the end here. Let's see. Where else can we go? I kind of wanted to log at the end of this road, like where you turn up it. Where is it? Like down in this slight valley here. Kind of what I want to do. Where would we haul to, though? Probably up into this little ridge here. All right, that's where I'm going. I'm just going to walk this machine because I'm too lazy to turn on my console commands.
Just slung the trailer into a tree.
Perfect. It probably wanted to be there. I'll use cruise control when I'm driving this machine, though. Because literally, I could look away for 4 minutes and I still won't gain more than half a kilometer, so it's fine. Will you make a trailer-mounted knuckle boom loader? Maybe one day. I don't know. I don't make a lot of the southern logging equipment. Southern logging equipment is like trailer-mounted stuff and wheeled feller bunchers, that kind of stuff. I don't do a lot of the southern stuff. Not because I don't like it, just because it's like, I don't know, for us up here, we don't really use a lot of that stuff, I guess. So it feels quite alien to me. It's the same reason I don't make a lot of the European stuff, just because a lot of it's kind of alien to me. Doesn't mean I can't make it, I guess, but yeah. Ken says, 2 words for you, rolling coal. All the reason you need to have a diesel. Yeah, until you get an inspection on your truck for rolling coal because you deleted all of your particulate filters out, and then you have to put it back. That's 2 of my buddies were coal rolling. They actually, it was part of their, like, they had their own little Facebook group, and they joined like this bigger one. I think it was like BC roll or coal rollers or whatever it was. And man, they posted all these videos of them rolling coal, and then RCMP, which is our Canadian police here, went and like found all these guys and gave them inspections. And then it cost them like $4 or $5 grand to put all these DEF systems back in their trucks. And yeah, that they stopped doing that.
Well, it's like, I don't really want to delete it to coal. I just want to delete it so I can tune it better.
Yeah.
And it actually sounds good.
At the track, like, guys would bring diesels out to the racetracks and stuff, and that was cool because they could play with their settings and then blow coal all day, and it looked neat to like have that kind of racing effect, right? Oh, sorry, I'm on your road here. You're good. Yeah, to do it in like the street where there's people walking around and stuff, you just kind of look like a tool. You don't kind of look like a tool, you do look like a tool. It's just like the definition of like childhood shit to do here in, at least in our community. Don't be a child. But it's okay, we're all old men now. People driving around with their loud trucks.
My dream vehicle is an Audi R8. I want specifically a 2013.
An Audi. They got a nice growl to them.
Well, it's not that. I don't know.
Comfortable?
There's a YouTuber I used to watch a few years ago when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And he had one, and I just loved the way he had it, and I just, ever since then, wanted one.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when I bought my pickup, like, I love my pickup. I absolutely do. I think it's great. But when I had that little Lexus SUV, it was a total piece of crap. Like, it was beat to shit, and it was falling apart. But, like, it was so nice to just have a little Zoomer car to drive around in, because I could go park anywhere I wanted because it was so small, and it was really fast, so I could just like whip around and get stuff. Now they got the truck again. Like, it's nice for like sticking to the road in winter, but if you're trying to like drive around in a busy, when the town's busy and there's vehicles everywhere and there's nowhere to park, it's like you have to park on the other side of the moon basically with your big pickup because there's nowhere else that you can fit. It's like, damn it. So that side, like when you talk about like cars or stuff like that, it's kind of nice to have like a little Zoomer vehicle to get around to. But I'm pretty committed to the truck now, so we'll see. Maybe in time I'll get bored of it and swap it out.
I just want to go fast.
That's fair.
Legally fast.
Legally fast, of course, yeah. Disclaimer. Just a little disclaimer. Oh, there we go. Oops. Oh, this pile's kind of wacky here.
Yeah, because they discontinued the R8, and now it's...
oh, you can't get it anymore?
2024. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So, and the 2024s, they look really good, don't get me wrong, but, you know, that's like $150,000.
Well, that's it, yeah.
A 13 goes for like 70 to 80 grand, which is a little more reasonable.
Nice cars, but yeah, they cost, eh?
And as you know, I mean, I'm not affording $100 vehicle.
Yeah, right, yeah. What, you can't just whip out 100 grand out of your back pocket and buy one? Come on. Oh well. Can't all
for future.
Well, that's it.
Midlife crisis.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, your midlife crisis vehicle. I like it.
All the C8s that you see around now.
Yeah. That's actually a perfect definition of a midlife crisis vehicle right there. C8s, yeah.
Used to be the C6, now it's a C8.
Up here, it's all the new Toyota Tacomas and Tundras and stuff, which are apparently not super great vehicles, the new ones. But this town that I live in is very heavily the nut and berry crowd, we call them, where it's just like, oh, we'll only buy Toyotas and save the environment. Okay, you guys, you want to hear a funny fact? Okay, this is the funny part of this town that I always find the most hilarious. So, like, a large majority of this town comes off as the like hippy dippy, save the environment folk. Like, we are recycle BC da 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 da. Right? Like, they're really pro save the environment and everything. So, as somebody who works for the like the transfer station, like the dump that we have here, like, our town is the worst for garbage and worst for recycling in anywhere in like the 10-hour drive of any other town around. Like, we are the worst. We have the most amount of garbage, the highest metric ton of garbage and consumable waste out of anyone, yet everyone in this town walks around touting about how they're, oh, I recycle everything and I'm the best and da 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 da. And then I see them at the dump on the weekend and they're throwing all their recyclable goods right into the garbage like everybody else. And I'm like, oh, hey, that's that guy that did that form the other day talking about how we should recycle more, and he's throwing all of his shit into the garbage instead of recycling it. So everything's a lie. Anyway, I think it's funny, but
like those people, I don't drink alcohol, yet they'll be the ones sitting by themselves in a dark room somewhere, drinking their lives away.
I'm on a diet, I don't do sugar. But then, yeah, like you said, door opens to the break room and they're just mowing down 30 donuts, and you're like, sure. Did you clean up the rest of that wood up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Up those tops.
I'm gonna start marching stuff down there. I'll get. Oh, Chris, I forgot you're still here. I thought you left. You're supposed to interrupt us and say stuff. Yeah, we're still going. Come jump in. Join us. You never know how long we're gonna go. We just kind of go, and whenever it ends, it ends.
Well, I didn't want to like have you guys pause for.
I'm really upset.
You know?
Yeah. No, you'll be all right. I'd be really upset if you joined us. Yeah, for sure. No, you'll be fine, man. Come on down. See, look, you're in already. That was fast. You figured it out quickly.
I just downloaded the mod. I didn't have it.
Yeah, well, the clean farm thing I might take off the server because we can't use it in multiplayer, unfortunately. It doesn't work, so. It crashes us out. Although comments, I need to go back to. Claude wants to know AT3 road noise. There is no road noise. It is the quietest tire I've ever used. And I used to have mud grapplers, Nito mud grapplers. I love them, but they sound like a Cessna airplane going down the road. Bwah! In your cab, it was insane. The next ones I had after that was the Toyo MTs. They were a little bit loud on the road, but like a really low drone compared to the other ones. But the AT3s are like a highway tire. They sound, I don't even hear them. Just dead silent. Which is kind of boring if you want to hear, like, you know, droning. If you're into that, you might not like them. Is it possible to change the drive direction to all your track machines? To change the drive direction? I don't know what you mean by that. You mean like the control B thing that like rotates the seat around to drive the opposite way? That wouldn't really make any sense on them because you're supposed to have... They're not supposed to be multi-directional. So as I'm watching Tex drive here, the sprocket on the back is your rear drive, like your main drive on here. And then this is your front. So you wouldn't want them to be able to change directions because you shouldn't be, not like it matters in the game, but in real life, you shouldn't be driving in your reverse direction on your drives for too long because it wears them out faster. And I know there's lots of controversy about that, but it's absolutely true. So if you're driving,
I'm just keyboard and mousing it. So
yeah, it's all good. No judgment. Actually, 100% judgment. Where's your joysticks?
I'm just really lazy.
That's, you know what? That's most of the time, guys that I play with, like, that's exactly it. They're like, I have them, they're plugged in under my desk, and I'm not doing it. I'm not picking them up. It's Saturday. I respect it. It's fine. It's fine. What else we got here? Do we stream on Twitch as well, or only YouTube? Only YouTube. I have a Twitch channel. It's even monetized, but I don't know. Twitch is just not part of my cycle of stuff anymore. I was thinking about firing it up one day, but if I do, sometimes I'll stream on TikTok, just to get like, because you get lots of new viewers on TikTok. I'd say it's the highest percentage of like people just stopping by and discovering that you'll get is through TikTok. But there's not really any monetization or anything on TikTok, and there's not really any easy linking or anything cool like that. But you'll see me occasionally be running TikTok live streaming on there. But other than that, just YouTube and TikTok, that's it. Would you ever try hardwood logging? I don't know, what's the difference? As a softwood lumber person, I don't know the difference, to be honest, between hardwood logging versus softwood logging. What is the difference?
I think it's literally just price difference.
Yeah, does it, like, do you log it differently?
I mean,
I don't know.
Hardwood's a little bigger, so it probably requires a lot more work.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it, yeah, I don't know. Don't know. You'd have to describe the difference between the two, and then I'll tell you if I'll try it. Lucior, what's up?
About like hardwood logging and like flats and stuff, swampy areas.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's it. Well, in the next map, we'll be doing hardwood logging then, because we got a whole swamp area. We'll call it that. Eyeball, what's up, man? He says too early in the morning for him. He's taking care of shit. All right, well, you take care of that shit. Oregon trees, what's up, man? What's that?
It's 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. Well, 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock for me. We just started now, according to my post there. I don't know how I'm going to process this. I might do shorts, honestly, because we're in kind of a crappy spot here.
Are you going for this pile right here?
Yeah. Do you just gonna park it? You can't process without joysticks, so I was gonna say you're gonna have a really bad time.
I just didn't know.
You want Skitter, Chris?
Skitter Chris.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
We'll call you Skitter Chris. I'm gonna do like 7s, and I'll just do them right on the road. Just keep hauling it up to like here somewhere, and we'll call it good enough.
Just sit around. Lunch break.
Yeah, lunch break. Oh, my automatic cut is back on again. Surprise, motherfucker. Where is it? I always forget where this is. Auto chop. It's under general settings. I hate that there's two settings. Game settings and general settings. Just combine them. What are we doing here? Silly billies, I'll tell you. Just all the settings under one.
Your FOV in game.
Can you? Oh, you can with the console.
Yeah. No, they added it, so that graphics thing, they added it in there as well.
Oh, they did.
Change first person FOV, third person, and just.
Oh, like while you're playing. FOV. I always use the console.
I think the lowest you can go is 40.
40? You can do 0 in the console. It's not pretty.
Probably still worth it in the console.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, we'll just make an ugly deck along the road here and call it good.
Oh, I wonder if I was wondering why my super strength wasn't working. I bet it's because I'm not a farm manager. This game's weird like that.
You're not a what?
Farm manager.
Oh. You guys not?
It's like if you don't have certain terms, like the game won't let you do stuff.
Promoted. We should just automatically, or there's a button to just say automatically promote everyone to farm manager when they join or something. But then it would wreck people's games, because then you would go cut down the trees I don't want you to cut down.
I didn't fix it. I wonder why it doesn't work.
Your console commands?
So high pitch right there.
Is that like a... Is that
super speed works, but
the
super strength doesn't work.
I wonder if that's like a... I wonder if that's an admin thing then.
Maybe.
It's probably just so guys can't go in and...
How to make the controls work?
How to what?
For the skitter?
Yeah.
Did you bind them?
No. You gotta set them.
Oh no, it's been a while.
Yeah, everything FDR you gotta set. Yeah, yeah, you go. You'd be a truck driver. Perfect. You could probably drive that grinder around and clean up stumps or something, or build a road, because that's easy. Just turn it on and walk forward. Set it.
Started driving forward.
Perfect.
There we go.
It's perfect. It's all right. You can just be our token mascot truck driver. Yeah, right in there. I'm going to end up backing up anyway, so just you can dump them wherever you want. And we got all the tops in this little ravine. That's actually perfect right there. The perfect spot where you just dumped them. Whoop. Beautiful. What else am I missing? Chris, a different Chris. Unless that's you, Chris, in the comments, but probably a different Chris. Thomas, like South hardwood logging massive trees and things. That's what he meant. Oh, like larger trees. So I generally stay away from the really, really large trees in this game, strictly because the physics are so glitchy. I haven't really done the big stuff. Although I might experiment with it in the future and do like a big redwood style logging map or something. Do not quote me on that though, because that may never happen. So that's just a maybe one day I'll look into it kind of situation.
Well, I didn't mean.
No, it's good. No, that worked good. That worked. You flipped them all the way I wanted them, so it worked out.
Oh, there's only 2 skids? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't do a whole lot down there. I was just kind of walking. Just keep going down, and then you don't have to play on the hill. I think you'll hit a flat spot down there somewhere, or like levels out a bit. We'll just haul it back up here for a bit, and then head down into the ravine. Highball says, I love the new patch with the skidders. Map is badass. Yeah. Yeah, the skidders are definitely better. Everything's actually a lot better. I've actually gotten some very nice emails from people about happy with the logs not slipping anymore, because that was a really big complaint from a lot of people, was how slippery the logs were, specifically in multiplayer. In single player, it wasn't terrible, but in multiplayer, it was really bad, I guess. So don't do that no more. And you can still load trucks half decently. They stick a little bit more for loading, but it's not bad. Zenper. As a console player, I constantly wonder why Giants is so picky with what mods go on ModHub. Well, there's a few things to that. One is they're bound by what Microsoft, the creators of the Xbox, allow them to put on console, so it has to go through a pretty rigorous checking process. 2, they have their own in-game infrastructure. So FDR Logging, us, we tend to break the rules quite a bit from the game. We do stuff that is not really friendly to the rest of the game. So by making these machines extremely heavy, making the logs heavy, it kind of breaks the in-game machinery, so it doesn't really work on these maps as well. You still can, it just doesn't work as well. Same with a lot of the in-game trucks and stuff, cannot haul the machines, they can't haul the logs, they can't do lots of stuff. So ModHub would not happily take an FDR logging mod the way that they are, because it's not compatibly friendly with other mods or their in-game stuff. So then they'd go, well, then that's considered broken or unacceptable to them. Unfortunately, the experience is just, well, obviously the experience is better with the FDR logging mods, as we've shown, because we have so many people using them and liking them. So it's unfortunate that that's kind of the way it goes, but it's the, oh, no, you're good. I'll balance out here.
Is it licensing issues? Is why Microsoft is so?
So if it's brand related, it's a licensing issue. So if it's like, I want to bring TireCAD to console, well, unless they sign on with Giants, you can't do that. Not a possibility. If it's you're calling everything a lizard machine or whatever, it doesn't really matter. My biggest problem is just the way that my mods are built. Right? They're not compatible with the in-game stuff technically, so they don't like that.
It's got to be different, don't it?
Well, I guess if I wanted to be, if their system, I always say that if their system worked as good or better, I would never have to do any of this, right? Like, duh. So why don't they just make it better on their system, and then I don't have to do all this crazy shit on my end? I could just use what they have and build my own stuff. That'd be perfect. I'd love nothing more than for them to offer a system as good as what this feels like, and then I don't have to do this. But it does not feel like this when you're playing with their stuff. That's why we have so many fans. Otherwise, they'd be like, FDR, you suck. The in-game stuff is so much better. I'm never using your crap again. And I'd be like, all right, cool. But that's not the case.
Yeah, and I mean, probably now they would just have to obviously they have to redesign their engine.
Yeah. Well,
back when it was originally designed, the consoles couldn't handle.
Yeah, they couldn't handle the way it was set up.
Right.
I feel they would.
Now I think they could.
Well, I feel they could incorporate the weight systems that I have. I mean, obviously, I'm me and my own opinions, but like what I've done with the game, this game already exists. I'm not using any kind of special third-party scripting. I'm using everything that they already have in their engine, in their game, to make what we have right here, right now. So they can do just as good of a job, if not better, hopefully, than what I'm doing. But they don't. They keep it all very weird. And that's always been a big complaint from lots of the farming side, too, is just the weights of the tractors are very floaty and unrealistic. The weights of the bales and all that kind of stuff is just, it's not a good time. But that's why I do my own thing, because I don't need them to let me know if they like it or not, because I just do it. And then if people want to download it, they can. It's offering a separate experience outside of their control, basically, so I don't have to wait for them to be like, oh yeah, Jordan, that's actually okay, or no, we hate it. You can't do that.
So, for the people listening in the YouTube chat, realistically, they shouldn't be asking us.
No, they should be asking Giants.
These questions. They should be asking Giants.
Yeah, Giants, it's their game.
Female Giants.
Yeah, everyone's like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And it's like, well, that's the game. That's not me. Like, I don't control that. I didn't build the game, man. I just played with it until it broke enough times that I found a good spot where I liked it.
Maybe, just maybe, if we get the 100,000 people that are using your mods,
yeah,
Female Giants,
all at once.
All at once.
A mass email. No, I think they've tried that in the past with other stuff. I don't know if that worked. I don't think they listen to that. We're gonna sign a petition. I remember there's petitions that went out this was years ago. It's back in FS17.
Really?
Guys sending out petitions about stuff, and I was like, do you really think that's gonna work? And then there was petitions over the Patreon thing when they stopped allowing Patreons to paywall mods.
Okay.
Oh man, that was the funniest thing. All these Patreons that were like, I was one of them too. I was paywalling mods just like everybody else was, and then they said, nope, cease and desist. You guys can't do that anymore. And man, everybody signed all these petitions on all the Facebook groups, and we're freaking out. Giants has no choice. We're taking legal action. I'm like, actually, it's their platform, their game. They built everything, and you're using it. Of course, they can say no at any time they want.
Right.
And like I said in I think I did a video talking about the Patreon stuff, but like, first I was like, oh man, like now we're never going to be able to get models ever again, because who the hell is going to support us making mods when they don't get special access? Like, no one's going to donate. It's going to be the worst, right? And then as soon as I changed it over to nobody gets any access to anything special outside of information, I actually got more donators, which was so wild. I couldn't freaking believe it. I was like, that's weird. Why is that? And I never had mod leaks ever again. That was a huge issue I used to have. Would be like, I'd release all these private Patreon only models to people to try, and then we had like people obviously secretly in there that were competitors or whatever, and they'd download these private models, and then they'd go upload them on all of the like public sites, like the mod whatever sites, US, and that. It was pretty funny. So honestly, the whole Giants shutting us down was probably the best thing that could ever happen to all of us, because it was like, it just made it so much better. There's still guys that do private stuff that are not supposed to, but I don't know, Giants doesn't really pursue it, I don't think. I'm too big of a name now, I can't get away with it.
There's a guy, or there's someone, I don't know, impersonating you uploading the mods on a third party websites.
For like the FDR ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's one group that I keep getting emailed about, but they have permission. That's a King Mods, it's called. And the guy that I don't know if he's the guy that owns it or runs it or was one of the moderators or what, he asked a long time ago if he could have permission to download them off of my website and then put them on there for people. And I said, yeah, go ahead. I don't care. I mean, it's all free anyway. Do whatever you want with it. After I put it out on my website, I really don't care. But I always tell people, if you want to have the best, like, you know, guaranteed you're getting the right stuff and the safe versions, you know, download it off the website, because the website's not a third party one. There's no, I'm the only one that controls it. There's no ads. There's no like, click one of the 50 million download boxes to get your mod, right? Yeah. It's just a click and you do your thing and download it. So, and that's always one thing. Like, I've had so many guys tell me, it's like, oh man, you're missing out. You could put all these, like, Google, I have a Google Ads account, right? So they're like, oh, you're so stupid. You could be incorporating Google Ads onto your website into like sidebars and all this stuff and have these ads and you can make money on that. And I'm like, yeah, but then the whole freaking site is just this conglomerate of freaking ads. And I'm like, everybody's got enough freaking ads in their face. I have one pop up on the website that says, hey, you can donate if you want to, or you can just click here and ignore all of it and download the mods. And that's as far as ads go, man. I'm not doing it. Like, fuck, we get enough shit that's popping up in our faces all day long. I don't want that on my site. And people love that.
I know, like, somebody else that we used to play with.
Yeah.
I download a bunch of mods that he had or whatever from people. And,
yeah.
And next thing you know, my computer is like
got stuff going on.
And
yeah. Yeah, and there was
like, this is dumb.
there was a bunch of that going on where modders were sneaking like weird, like, sketchy stuff into their mod downloads to try to get people that weren't supposed to be downloading their mods, and it became so freaking just gnarly the way that they're doing stuff. The funniest one I get now all the time is like, so McAfee, Norton, and what the hell, Capper Spy or whatever the hell it's called, they're like the antivirus programs. So if you're downloading directly off of a website and it's a zip file, they can't scan it. Like if it's a big file, if it's over, I think it's over like 200 megs or something like that. Same with Google. They can't really scan those properly. So they automatically treat them as a potential virus. It's like, it's not a virus, but they say, oh, it could be, right? So you'll get a big flag in your downloads. So ever since FS19, I've gotten so many emails from people. It says there's viruses in your mods. There's viruses in your mods. And it's like, no, man, there's no viruses. Like, I guarantee it. Like, it's all my own stuff coming directly from my computer on there. Nothing ever touches it in between me uploading it directly to the private server where you download it from. And they're like, yeah, but it says it's a virus. And it's like, no, man, it's not. It's your computer warning you that it couldn't run the whole zip file because it's too big. And it could potentially have harmful shit in there if you could scan it, or if you don't scan it and see what's in it. But you could still download the file, open it, and scan it on your own computer if you don't believe me, and it'll come out clean. So, but I get that all the time. It's pretty funny. But zip files have always been an issue for that. But unfortunately, this game you have to have everything in a zip file, so it's not like you can do it in another way. And there's no way to put safety credentials on zip files for a third-party game. It's just not a Microsoft thing, so. But yeah, the whole mod world of paywalling and all that stuff was such an interesting time. Oh, we're gonna stop cutting for a bit here, Tex. We're getting lagged out. It's happening. Come load this truck. That's what you can do. Come load a truck. These are pretty small trees here, so that's probably why. I probably should switch back to longs now that we're down below here. I might back off this road a little, and maybe we'll haul them up to this little edge, and I'll just process them right off this edge.
It's almost down at the next road down there, too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it's about to start, Dick.
Yeah, since those ones are facing this way, we could start a new deck facing that roadside, but we'll pull those ones up here. We'll just lay them right alongside this, and we'll do longs. My longs should reach up to the road or pretty close to it. Yeah, it'll get close enough anyway. Oh, sorry, I was on a rant there. What do we got for comments here? What do we miss? Tech. Highball says, Texas, not a farm manager. What a disgrace. Come on, Chris. No joysticks. So disappointed. Highball, you're not even in the game. You can't say this stuff. You have to be in the game. Yeah.
Shut up, old man.
Yeah, you got to be in here to be able to make those kind of comments. Jeez. Cohen. FDR, I stopped playing FS25 for a while, and I have your mods and bought 2 farm sticks, but when I go to play, one stick won't do anything at all. Tried different USB ports. I've had that issue in the past where USB ports weren't working properly. So try moving those around. Also, check that you can... what the hell is it? There's like a game setting things in Microsoft where you can check your joysticks to make sure they're functioning. That's probably stuff I'd look at. Simper. So Giants use a broken system and then you fix it. They complain that it doesn't work without their broken stuff. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's why the FDR logging system is very... Yeah, exactly, right? The FDR logging system is very separate of the Giants world. That's why I'm not a partnership program partner person with Giants. That's why I'm not up on the main stage with the other modders dancing around doing my thing, because I am very separate of them. Because I have standards. I don't do the whole cheerleader thing. If something's not working, I'm not going to celebrate it. If something is working, I will celebrate it. That's kind of how I roll. But I'm not going to stand up and be like, oh my god, everything's perfect, this game's the best thing ever, there's nothing wrong with it, like a lot of people do, because I think that's kind of cheesy, for lack of a better term. What else we got here? Afro something. A real dude that does things because he loves it and nobody else does. Respect. Yeah, exactly. Oh, easy text. Whoa, ho, ho. Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me.
What?
So, I am not the only one that uses higher sensitivity.
Oh, yeah. No, I know you're not. I just make fun of you for it all the time. It's what we do. It's just when you're operating, when someone's operating poorly because of those high sensitivity settings, then I laugh at them. If you're using high sensitivity settings and you're doing well, you're fine. But if you're knocking over your machine all the time or knocking over trailers and acting like a fool, then I'm gonna lay it on you. But you've been good. You've been fine now. I've also made the machines heavier, so to protect you against that. That was the whole plan. But yeah. Yeah, pretty wild. Big Pine Logging. Logmax head. There might be a Logmax head eventually. I am working with the people that own Logmax. We're not really doing a lot of stuff at the moment, but there might be stuff coming. I can't promise anything because I don't know. Oh yeah, drive by. Nice. Oh, it was right where it needed to be though.
That was almost perfect. Someone had to hit the brakes.
The tree bunching gets laggy because of the live physics. Yes. So if we have too much going on, especially when we have multiple servers of people. Hey, while you guys are here, let me take a picture. Go stand in front of this situation. Yeah, sure, right here. Wait, I can even make it better. I'll go FOV 30. Oh, actually, that's a good shot right there. Perfect. Now try to remember what my FOV actually was. FOV 65, maybe? Sure. The trees get laggy. Yeah, so if there's too much stuff going on, like if Tex is down there bunching, we're up here loading, I'm processing, a lot of physics happening. So if there's too much happening, the game starts to lag out. So we try to cut it down to smaller piles. I'm going to switch to long logs. That's a big thing that'll fix that. Tex, you got the skidder? Where's that?
Yeah, it's parked.
Park? Oh, it's up here.
Right here.
You want a skidder? You can go for it.
I thought we had a Medill somewhere.
Probably. Did we? Do we?
No, we don't. Not anymore.
Oh, well.
So
why you need to... Oh, do some decking? Just bring the loader... Yeah, and then just bring it back. I'll do the skidding for now. I'm going to bring it up here.
Flip some of those around.
Yeah. Don't die, Chris. You're going to be okay. You're going to make it.
Line this up. Alright.
Cohen says he's going to try to see... Oh, yeah, whatever. Cohen's going to see if that works. You go for it. Fitzy... Also, check your software of your joysticks. I've never used any of the software programming for Thrustmaster stuff, but people who do, that's definitely something that'll do it. Claude says I'm protecting Tex from Tex. Exactly. No, Tex is he's our abuse check. So if anything's going really intensely bad, then I know what I need to fix. Because if he's doing it and he's usually pretty well operated, then really bad operators out there are doing twice as bad. And it's kind of like a sounding board. It's perfect.
There's a claw.
Run it over. Call it a bad name. That'll actually show it.
There's a skidder in the woods.
I'm gonna lay this right.
Great timing.
What's that?
I just set the cruise control and I went to the bathroom real quick. Got back just in time.
I told you. You can drive like 30 kilometers and still... I'll take that one right from you, sir. Just give me that right there. I'm just swerving at it. You gotta tease it a bit. That's good. I'll make this into a short video. It'll be good. I was like these... Oops. I was like these third-party ones here. Schwink. There we go. We got her. Beautiful. When is the next update? The update just came out. I don't know. Sometime in April maybe, or May. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I got a lot of stuff that's getting worked on, but only about 5% of it's actually completed, so might be a while. Might be a bit. But I also don't like to rush the updates. I like to get some actual new stuff. I'm not going to do a full update for like 3 mods. So, oh, that's why it's so laggy. Look how many trees you got down there. Jeez. So right where that first pile is in front of you, start making that the deck.
Right.
Anything that's not facing my way already, basically. I'll take these up top though. What else we got? Carter. That was Carter saying that. Turtle. I was mentioned twice. Oh no, I was mentioned nice. Sorry, I can't read. I'm like, if my eyes could split like a chameleon and I could have one on the screen and one over there, that'd make it way easier. But they don't do that, unfortunately. Do you ever think of making processors and forwarders? You'd have to be more specific. I think we got one of each of those at least. FDR and a skidder. Shit, hell must have frozen over. No, Tex is decking, that's why. Minimum server players. Actually, I don't mind skidding. These skidders are actually pretty decent. I do miss my locking straps regardless, but I don't get a lot of dropouts in these. Like, they're pretty good. Especially since the friction update, they seem to be a bit better. It's the big trees. When you're hauling, like, trying to haul multiple of the really big guys, then I notice they drop out a bit. But the little ones, I've not really had any problems with yet. And like I said, since I've increased the friction on the trees, they stick together a bit more, so they don't do the whorl slipping out anymore. Not like they used to. Have I ever been loading trucks out in the woods? Not in like a log. What do you call it? A wood lot. Again, it might as well have been a mill yard. It was very flat. I loaded 2 or 3 trucks one time. That was pretty fun. But it was just pulpwood, just crappy pulpwood. I haven't actually got to touch saw logs, which would have been fun.
Yeah, that big pecan. I wish we could have sawed that up.
Which one's that? The one you had in your driveway there, or whatever, or your whatever it was.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was pretty nice, eh? What'd you guys do with it?
I cut it up. It was 37 inches across.
Yeah, it's
I cut
cool.
it up with a 20-inch bar.
Oh my
It
god.
is now firewood.
Oh, firewood. All right. Well, that's fair. At least it's being used for something.
Well,
Using it
pecans
for
good
something.
cooking wood, so
Yeah.
I can
Heats up.
use it for that.
Carter, just wondering. I love the new Deucin. Oh yeah, the Deucin will be coming. Don't you worry. And that's big thanks to Jackson there. Jackson, he funded that whole project. And actually, it's funny, since I posted that, I've had several guys coming to me with new projects that they want to fully pay for. Some of them I can do, and some of them I can't do. That's always the thing. I think I did a whole video in the FDR Logging series. I think it was called "Will You Make a Mod for Me?" And I go into details about kind of what my rules are for making mods for other people. Has to be something I can do, first of all, and has to be something I can release to the community. I don't do private mods for people, unless you're like a huge company and you want to pay me a whole crazy amount of money to build a special situation for you. I've had one time I did that for somebody or a company, but individual modders and stuff, like I don't make private mods. It has to be something that can go back to the community if I'm going to put my time into it. So if you want to pay for it, that's cool and all. Okay, no more cutting at all. Oh my god, I'm getting frame rated out here again. Zero cutting. Till we get this cleared up. I didn't think you were cutting, but just in case, don't do it. Yeah, good times, man. The Deucin. The Deucin was very expensive. The Deucin came out to... all said and done, Jackson paid for the majority of it, and then I just paid the difference. I think it ended up being about $440 something US dollars for the model itself. And of course, that doesn't include my time, but my time doesn't cost money. It's just model building time. It's a beautiful model, though. It turned out great. I'm really happy with it. And Jackson absolutely loves it as well, which is great. But yeah, they're expensive. It's kind of dumb. And the price has gone up. I was talking to Tex about this earlier, since like I used to be able to get models done for around $200, $220 US for a full model. Which, I mean, it's still kind of expensive, but not like crazy. I was able to kind of afford that. Which was nice, because back when Patreon was like really popular, I was able to get like sometimes 2 whole models a month, which was sick. And now sometimes I can't even get enough for one in 1 month because of how freaking expensive it is. But like I said, any donations that we get, it all just goes into this. I have this one account for FDR Logging. I just pile it all in there, and then when I reach enough money, like usually around $600 Canadian, roughly, once I hit that threshold, then I know I can put out a mod vote, or we can build another model. And then if we're doing like implements, sometimes I can make a deal with my contractor guy where I can do 2 and get like 30% off the second one if I do 2 at once. It's just kind of a weird system, but it works out pretty good. So I've had that where we've gotten like implements built, like buncher heads or processors, that kind of stuff. Sometimes I can get a pretty good deal. But like I said, the rates have gone up. It used to be like I've used the same guy since about the end of 2019, and he does a really good job, and he's fair with his prices and stuff. But like, and if the guy's watching, like, I don't mean any disrespect to him at all. Like, his prices are very high. They've gone up quite a bit. But in his defense, the last model that I sent out to get done, I was like, you know, man, like we're getting up there in price. Like, I'm gonna have to shop around a little bit, just in case. I want to make sure that, you know, I'm getting a fair market value here. And I went around to other modelers, and they were actually like around the same range, if not more, for the same job. So they know their market, like those guys, like when they're doing those jobs, like they know where to bid, where they're competitive with other people. So but it is always good to shop around and make sure you're not getting screwed, right? Not that I thought I was. I just, you know, you gotta do your due diligence. And yeah, it's not cheap. It's kind of brutal. But like I said, it's all community based, and when people donate, I just put it all together, and when we get enough, we buy a new model. The bonus is we do have lots of models now. When we moved to FS25, we had lots of models from FS22, and I'm still working on bringing more of those over slowly at a time here. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, some months on, like I said, I try to do Patreon mod votes and YouTube member mod votes for picking our next mods. But some months, if I don't have enough money, I can't really do a mod vote because it's not there yet. So working on it slowly but surely. Everything costs money, and with everything going on in the world today, I don't know if it's going to go down. Might go up even higher. Who knows? We will see how the old cookie crumbles in the world of costs.
Jumped out of the loader and got flashed by Chris there for a second.
Oh, that's good. Did you have to pay? Did you put $1 in his pocket or anything like that, or was it all like mutual? Consent is consensual. Yeah, there you go. Consensual. That's the word I was looking for. It was all consensual. It's good. Oops. Oh, I lost that one. He meant more. Sorry, I meant European logging style where you go cut and delimb in on a spot and then get the logs. Oh, you mean like our style of logging? Yeah, you know what? I was thinking about doing that on the next map, is forcing everybody to use forwarders and processors. And we don't do what we're doing with skidders and loaders. It's actually, it works too. It's fun. It's a little more graphically brutal on the game though, especially for multiplayer, because you got shorts laying all over the place. You got a processor going. You got forwarders going. It's a little bit more physics than what we're using right now. But I mean, we used to do it on multiplayer.
Watch. Yeah, let's say we did it on the 22 logging crew.
Yeah, that's right. We did, and I thought it worked out. So maybe we'll try that.
It was on Sitco. If you want to go watch it, go watch it.
Yeah,
that was fun. I did enjoy doing that with the 325.
Yeah, that's right. We should try that on. Well, when we're done this map, we'll switch over to the new one. Well, I mean, we could do it on this map too if we really wanted, but maybe we'll make that a special thing for the new one. When we go over there, we'll try to do some more European style logging for fun. But I mean, it's not even European only. Like, we do that in Canada here too. We do processor drops and forwarder decking, basically.
I can do that up where Flirty is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Well,
that's all it is by me too.
The mills, well, it depends on what your mills are. So our mills here accept both long logs and short logs. But there's some mills that have gone 100% cut to length, like short logs. And if your mill isn't requiring you to do long log lengths, then yeah, it's the better way to go, because you leave so much of that waste in the bush. You're not bringing all that waste into the mill where they cut it up. You're already pretty much predefining the saw logs in the bush for the guys, and the mills really like that. Leave the waste in the bush.
Down here by us, they're 8 feet or whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and they go in the trailer the other direction.
Oh, okay. Like like back to front sort of instead of side.
Yeah.
That's trippy. Yeah, up here, like I said, we do anywhere from 8-footers, 16-footers, 65-footers. So like there's lots of variety. So up here we have to do this style that we're doing right now, like how Tex is loading, where we switch back and forth to different shorts and longs and have a whole fun time out of it. Oh, okay. What else we got here? John Deere's not a nice brand because they don't like FDR. I don't think it's that they don't like me. It's just that they legally don't do anything where they can't make money out of it. Does that make sense? It sounds like John Deere. But maybe one day, you never know, maybe they'll be like, oh yeah, we absolutely... No, I don't see that happening. What am I talking about? Pipe dream. Whoa, what happened there? No one got away on you.
Caught one.
It's your new friend. I have operated both a John Deere loader and a Medill loader. I have yet to ever run a Tiger Cat. I would love to run a Tiger Cat one day. But I definitely preferred the Medill over the John Deere. And the John Deere was the new G series, and I was not a fan, to be honest. It was just
Chris, can you
very underpowered.
Back up a little bit. Go on there. Pull up. Get your get that rear tandem even with my track. Perfect.
Any plans on bringing back the Mac with the log bunk? Yeah, possibly. I have in the next update, whenever it comes out, I'm trying to bring in at least one more truck so that you guys aren't stuck with just this one truck. I'd probably bring in the Superliner, just the in-game one, and I might add some stuff to it, like a headache rack or something to kind of log it up a bit. But oops, oh, trees are running away from me down here. The little slippery ones. But yeah, I might add a bunk to one possibly, if people want to use that. I don't know if that was super popular back in the one. A lot of people want the self-loader. Oops, I just popped that tire or that truck. Whoopsies. A lot of people want the self-loader back, which might happen one day. I don't know. Again, like, so when I say, or people are like, oh, it was super popular. It's like, it wasn't actually that popular. So the way I know whether something was popular or not is I can see downloads of like certain mods, individual mods from different places where they get uploaded. And the delimmers and the self-loader and a couple of the other track machines were very unpopular. And I know why they were. Is mainly the track machines that didn't get downloaded the most were the ones that had lots of bars in the windows, like crappy visibility. The 551 was a good example of that. It had terrible, terrible visibility with all the bars everywhere blocking everything. So not a lot of people like to use it. And in this game, you don't really have the ability to look around the cab as much. So a lot of people don't like those kind of mods. So when I went to FS25, my goal was to make sure that the cockpits of the machines were very visible. And I've removed bars off certain machines that maybe normally have bars there, but in real life you can move your head around and look around and see out around those bars and stuff. In this game, not so much. So trying to make it a little bit more user-friendly for people so they actually have a good experience. Just having a time of your life there, Tex. I wonder if it's something to do with your high sensitivity.
Probably. Actually, I think me flicking it off the trailer the first time definitely was.
But it's not sensitivity. No. Ludicrous.
It's definitely this weird angle I'm loading at right now.
That's good. It's practice. Good practice. What else we got? Any plan? Oh, yeah, you already read that one. New Brunswick is more European style. Yeah, okay. I don't know New Brunswick logging, but that's pretty cool. You just killed me, bro. Worth it.
Yeah, you're making fun of my sensitivity.
I am making fun of your sensitivity. Got to. After that truckload, I think I'm going to call her done here. Perfect. Beautiful. It's the hottest load ever made. And we actually got a picture already, so I don't have to work too hard on that. That's good. Beautiful job. Sweet. Okay, well, I'm going to close the live stream, so thanks everybody who watched, and we'll do it again sometime randomly. You never